Welcome to Reading and Math, Inc., the payroll overview for non-exempt employees. Our agenda will consist of a CBIZ overview, staff payroll FAQ and best practices, timesheet completion, and time off requests. When you log into CBIZ, this will be your home page. It will have a My Profile selection. You can go ahead and click and upload a photo if you wish. It will also contain all of your information on this side. On the company information, which is listed on the left side, it will have the contact information for administrators of the CBIZ website. Announcements section will be company messaging. It might be related to benefits re-enrollment, maybe to COVID, or our federal state labor law posters and notices. In the My Workspace, we will start with workflows. Workflows are currently not being used, so you will not need to click on this. Change events, if you are looking to make changes to your address or direct deposit or other benefit changes, if you are eligible, you can select any one and begin the event, and the next steps will be followed after you click on Begin Event. Under Benefit Statements, we are required to provide this by the ACA Affordable Care Act. When you click on this, a statement will come up that will show what benefits you may have elected or waived. It will show any pay period costs, pre-tax costs, or post-tax costs. It will also list any contribution levels and if you have any covered dependents. It is for your records. We are going to skip over time and labor and go through the other sections of the website. So there is an employee directory. In the employee directory, you can search by last name, first name, department, or position, and make that selection and search the directory. Paycheck stubs. We encourage all of our employees to check their pay stubs and look to make sure that they have benefits coming out if they chose benefits. If there are taxes, making sure the taxes are what they're expecting to come out, and ensuring that your pay in general is overall correct. This particular part only allows 2 to 3 months of pay stubs to be shown, but you can go back and have as many months that you may need. All you do is click on this filter button here, and then you can go ahead and click how far back you would like to go. And then filter that button. The pay stubs will appear, and what will appear is in this section under pay date will be like a PDF, and you'll click on that and it will then open up that particular pay date. You can change your direct deposit here as well as in the change events. In this section, you would go down and create the deposit record, and again, it will bring you through a series of steps that will need to be completed. You can also update your emergency contacts at any time. You can add a new emergency contact by creating one. You can also delete them by deleting. All you do is select the one you would like to delete and then say delete selected records. We also have a Learn About Your Benefits link. This link will allow you to at least compare our medical plans if you're eligible, and it does give you some general information in terms of costs. We also have an additional links which will open up into a new tab. We have everything from benefit information to COVID to labor law posters and notices, and our own website, which again will open up in a new tab. Under the company links, we have an office locations. Again, these will open into new tabs. HR newsletters, the employee handbook. I encourage all of our employees to read through the handbook specifically as it relates to recording your time and time off, whether that's PTO, sick and safe time, all the rules for what you can request, when you can request, and for what reasons are listed there. Next, we are going to go over the staff timesheet FAQ and best practices. This will be found under the documents section. And again, we are going to have this pop into a PDF. Do all staff need to complete timesheets? Yes, all salaries and wages charged to grants must be supported by approved timesheets. Should I complete my timesheet daily or wait until the end of the pay period? The best practice is daily for accurate reporting. Hours should not be reported on a timesheet in advance of the workday. May I submit my timesheet early? No, hours must be reported after the hours have been worked to ensure accuracy. The only allowable exception is planned leave. If my position supports multiple grants, may I use budgeted amounts or estimated fixed percentages for my timesheet allocation? And the answer to that is no. We want to make sure that this is considered an adequate documentation to support the charges to the grants. The hours must reflect actual work activity and not budgeted. Who do you contact if you're given work direction for a grant that is not on your timesheet? Your supervisor should speak with the finance director to determine any changes on a case-by-case basis. Who do I contact about other issues like saving or submitting my timesheet? You can contact your supervisor or the payroll specialist, and we will be able to help you. Why is it important to accurately complete your timesheet based on actual work activity? This goes back to maybe being able to effectively manage costs, forecast future costs, be in compliance with our federal grant requirements, as well as other funding sources that we do have. We want to be able to report accurate reports to CNCS and other funders. We don't want to have to pay back any funds to those funders, and we don't want audit findings, and we don't want to lose our funding. Best practices for the timesheet preparation. Record time allocations daily. Ensure the actual hours are worked. Round to the nearest quarter hour. Do not submit your timesheet until the end of the pay period, and then double check your time for accuracy before submitting. We will now open up the payroll calendar. On the payroll calendar, you will see that the pay period end date is always in purple. When you need to submit and when timesheets are submitted and approved, those due dates are on here as well, and they are in red. And then the payday is in blue. Our holidays are also in yellow, and you have the holidays listed on the right-hand side here. We will now venture over to time and labor. We will click on View Manage Time to start the completion of our timesheets. This will be the list of the 2021 schedule, and you will find that whenever the pay period is current. You'll see it highlighted in orange. For some employees, you will have multiple cost centers on your timesheets, and for others, you may only have one or two. So you will need to maybe speak with your supervisor about how they best allocate their time if they are reporting to multiple cost centers. And in any case, we will start this by entering hours. A description of the cost centers can be found here as well. So if you're looking to see what MNERC is, you will find that that stands for Minnesota Emergency Response Corps. We've listed our time for this particular day. We can go ahead and continue moving forward by putting in hours for each day. And hours will vary for multiple cost centers, as there may be times where you work in a particular grant or cost center for a day and maybe not others. You will also want to make sure that as you're filling this out daily, that you click Save. You'll get a message once the timesheet has saved, stating successfully saved. At the top, we will point out that there is 2 weeks listed here, week 1 of the pay period and week 2. Please be sure to complete both weeks prior to submitting your timesheet. You can also make a comment on your timesheet. It might be something like that you left early one day, or it could be that you had a longer day for training, and it just alerts your supervisor that there was something different going on that day. You then add the comment, and it was successfully saved. You can also delete that comment if you don't feel there's a need for your supervisor to know that information. Comments are not required unless dictated by your supervisor. Once we have completed our timesheet and we feel that all of our hours are accurate, we'll then go to Submit Time Card. You will then have this acknowledgement stating, by submitting your time card, you are verifying that you have reviewed your time card and the information is accurate to the best of your knowledge. You will then click Submit Time Card. A box will pop up at the top of your screen saying, are you sure you wish to submit the time card for the selected period? You will not be able to change this data once you have submitted the time card. Click OK. And you will get submitted successfully. An email has now been sent to the supervisor alerting them that they have a pending timesheet. Once that timesheet is approved, you will get an email back stating your timesheet has been approved. At this time, we will go ahead and move over to the time off requests. Do note that if you do submit your timesheet and you feel like you made an error, contact your supervisor and they can mark your timesheet as not submitted for you to make any changes. So as we get started with View Request Time Off, again, please look at the handbook for what you may be eligible or what you might not be eligible for. In this case, this employee is eligible for sick and safe time. This is PTO. They're listed in the handbook. So what we're going to do is, this is a summary page. It shows all of the balances. The time off detail can show when something was accrued, when it was accrued or when it was taken. But in this case, we're going to go to the time off request area, and we are going to request time off for the 25th, and we'll add that date in. And we want to say 4 hours of sick and safe time. Again, look at the rules of what sick and safe time can be used for, or any of the other time off codes that you might be eligible for. Once you submit the request, you'll be given a notice saying it's been successfully submitted. And again, an email is going to go to your supervisor indicating that they have a time off request pending. And once it is approved, an email will be sent back to you. For non-exempt employees, you can request your sick and safe time or PTO or floating holidays. Those can be taken in increments of a quarter hour, and all the way up to 8 hours if that is your schedule. Moving over, you can also look to see if any other employees off at that time. That is our general overview. For questions, if you have any additional questions after this training, please reach out to the payroll team at payroll@servetogrow.org. Thank you, and welcome to Reading and Math, Inc.